Testimonials, credibility boosters, and social proof need to be directly on your sales pages. That is where the conversion is happening. Hey, Kelsey Tony here from Guest Focus. Welcome back to our series on how to create tour descriptions that sell. In this video, we're gonna be covering 3 words that you gotta know: testimonials, credibility, and social proof. These all fall into one category, and they are an essential element on your tour description pages because they help you build trust and they help you build confidence with your potential buyers. Without that trust, without that confidence, people are not willing to book. Let's dive in. Let's start from the shared understanding that testimonials and social proof are really important for sales. We could go through all kinds of quotes and go through scientific studies or break down the psychology of why word of mouth recommendations mean so much, or when we see other people like us recommending a product or service, why that's so important. But if we just agree on that already, which most tour business owners get, then we could get to the much more interesting question of why is it that so many tour operators do such a terrible job of implementing testimonials and social proof on their tour sales pages. Don't get me wrong, a lot of tour business owners are crushing it when it comes to getting online reviews on TripAdvisor, collecting them on Google, potentially Facebook and Yelp. Most tour businesses do a pretty good job of having some social proof and testimonials on their homepage, potentially on their about page, but so many fall flat when it comes to tour description pages. Let's have a look at some examples. Here's a tour description for a ghost tour, and we're right on the sales page. We've got a nice big buy tickets button. We've got some text, but nowhere am I seeing any kind of social proof or testimonials from past guests. Here is another common thing we see. Here is a electric bike tour, and it says click here for TripAdvisor reviews. And I have to actually click on this, which takes me to another website, draws me into TripAdvisor world just to get some social proof. Okay, time for a hot take. We here at the Guest Focus Tour Business Coaching Program strongly recommend that you do not link out to other websites from your tour description pages. When someone is on a tour or activity sales page, we have one goal in mind for them, and that is your call to action. And that link takes them into the checkout process. The book now button, the book now step is all we want people focused on. That includes linking out to your review profiles. Now, you can do this on your homepage. You can do this on your About Us page. We don't have an issue with it there. In fact, there are good reasons to do that. But once you've got somebody on your tour description page, the last thing we want to be doing is sending them over to Facebook or sending them over to TripAdvisor, who, by the way, you may be competing with in terms of them being a reseller of your products and services. And TripAdvisor makes it easy, right? With those widgets. Oh, shouldn't we just embed a TripAdvisor widget or a Google My Business widget right there? Isn't that a great way? No, and here's why. With those beautiful little embeds come the secret sauce that they've snuck in, which is they will almost always include a link out to the TripAdvisor page, where one, TripAdvisor is going to either A, sell them your tour and take the commission, so you've just linked out to their website and then they've stolen your customer, or 2, they're gonna recommend your competitors. If you look, as soon as TripAdvisor became an online travel agent and started reselling underneath, if you're not selling with TripAdvisor, they're gonna start recommending other people in your area who have similar tours. You've probably seen this before. If you haven't, believe me, this is one of the most compelling reasons why you should not link out to your TripAdvisor profile from your tour sales pages. There are people out there who disagree, but now you know where we're coming from. So how should we effectively display testimonials on our tour sales pages? Well, a simple heading like this, what our guests are saying, and then have testimonials underneath with a slider that you can click through. These sliders make it a little more mobile friendly. You don't have to use these. The implementation is less important than actually getting some guest quotes on your website. Okay, but how do we know what testimonials to choose and where can we find them? Here are our recommendations. Using testimonials should be done strategically, meaning you want to choose testimonials that overcome some of the main objections to booking your tour. So you know this better than anyone else. Let's do a quick example. Let's say people are nervous about coming on your aerial zip line tour because they're a little bit nervous about heights or they've never done this before. A really effective testimonial to choose would be somebody who says, hey, I was really nervous about doing an aerial zip line. It was my first time, but it felt so safe and secure. The guides were wonderfully supportive, and I would highly recommend this to any other first-time flyers. That is a strategically chosen, super powerful bit of social proof that's going to put someone's mind at ease. That's what I want you to be thinking about when you're choosing testimonials. Avoid the generic testimonials that are a great tour, highly recommend, and get laser focused into choosing the ones that are overcoming objections. Now, in terms of where to find them, any quote that you receive in your own business is fair game to display on the website. In terms of reviews that are collected, let's say on TripAdvisor, on Google, Facebook, or elsewhere, we recommend that you can use those quotes, though always reference where they came from. We don't believe that you have to explicitly link to the part of the web that that review came from, but we do recommend attributing it. Much like if you had a quote in a magazine or media or newspaper, you could attribute that quote to that particular journal. Let's have a look at a couple more examples. Let's have a look at some of the testimonials we chose with one of our coaching members who is doing a food tour. One of the issues that came up is that people were concerned about how much food they would receive and how much walking there was. We found this quote from Chris B. I was concerned as I have a knee issue and was also hungry. Turns out neither concern was an issue. I was able to sit at each of the 5 locations on the food tour and there was plenty to eat. What a great value, not only tasty, but informative. Highly recommend. This is a strategically chosen testimonial, and this particular coaching member had literally thousands of different reviews that we could have chosen, and this one rose to the top because we addressed an objection. Here's another one from Megan D. My husband and I have been on 10 food tours, and this was by far one of the best. Faith was an incredible tour guide, friendly, accommodating, and knowledgeable. Thank you. Here, we're addressing the potential objection. Hey, are the guides any good? These types of rave reviews where people are going over the top, that is a great review to choose as well. We move away from the generic, and this Megan, who's been on 10 food tours, isn't saying this one is the best. Well, that is really strong social proof. Let's look at one more that we selected. Let's look at one more testimonial that we chose, and it's having to do with allergies and dietary restrictions, which is a common concern with food tours. Here's the quote. This was far more than a food tour. The logistics were professional and well done. We were contacted about allergies, and Bulldog staff made sure we knew where to go and our arrival time. This is an excellent choice for any type of food and beverage tour. See if you can find a testimonial that talks about how well you handled someone's dietary restrictions. Here's another fantastic implementation by Foods of New York tours. Notice here how they call out that they're the #1 rated food tour on TripAdvisor, 4,000 plus 5-star reviews. 5-star rated food tour on Google, and they summarize their reviews. 5-star food tour on Yelp. This is fantastic. Summarizing your reviews like this, whether it's the total number of reviews, your average score, or even the total number of 5-star reviews is super powerful. Underneath, they've chosen quotes that are great. A recommendation would be to try and keep your testimonial quotes a little bit shorter. A common mistake is to have them run quite long, and you ask people to burn a lot of calories to read it. So I would edit these down a little bit, but I do like the selections that they made. I was hesitant to go on a food tour. I wasn't sure if it would be worth the time or money. I was wrong. One of the best things I've done in NYC. Our guide was amazing and had so much knowledge. I will do another, worth every penny. That is a rave review. It's overcoming an objection. Excellent choice. So what are some other credibility boosters that we could add directly to your tour sales pages? How about some information about your business? A simple quote like, over 10,000 happy guests. That's a great indicator that you're doing something right if you can get to 10,000 guests or whatever that number might be for you. You've been in business since 2010 or 2015. That's another great credibility indicator. Hey, if you can survive and you've been around for 6 years, 7 years, that's a pretty good indicator that you're doing something right. What about awards or media mentions? A lot of tour businesses get great coverage or are even recommended in guidebooks, but they don't tell their potential customers about it. If you are recommended by a guidebook, if you have been featured in a magazine, in a publication, even local ones, these are great credibility indicators and social proof to add to your tour description pages. Let's look at how you can implement this super effectively. Let's have a look at Alternative Athens, a tour company over in Greece. Look at right above their header, they have this gray bar. Now this is a pretty common implementation and it can be really effective. As featured in, and then you list some of your media mentions. The Guardian, CNN, National Geographic, Lonely Planet, Le Monde. I mean, these are some impressive brands, and to be featured in them means, wow, these guys must be doing something special. If you scroll down on their tour pages, I love this implementation, awards and accolades, where they explicitly call out their Traveler Choice Awards, Top Partner and Get Your Guide, Sustainable Tourism Award, and other awards. Their testimonial slider is just underneath. They're doing a great job here of getting social proof onto their tour pages. Unexpected Atlanta down in Georgia does a great job of getting some awards right on their homepage. Atlanta's Favorite Food Tour and the Traveler's Choice Award from 2020. What I would love to see them implement is to get some of these credibility indicators and social proof right on their tour description page. Here's their Martin Luther King Jr. tour, and we have one testimonial, but that's the only social proof that we see on here. We should 100% be comfortable repeating the fact that you've been featured in a particular media outlet or that you've won a particular award. I would strongly recommend repeating that information across your tour sales pages. Don't assume that people are going to click through your website and see all of that social proof on other pages. Now, I hate to break this to you, but if you are a tour or activity provider in this day and age, then you, my friend, are in e-commerce. And it's time we started implementing e-commerce best practices. Testimonials, credibility boosters, and social proof need to be directly on your sales pages. That is where the conversion is happening. Now, there are many different ways, different aesthetics that you might have for a tour page. We're giving you lots of freedom to implement this social proof in a way that suits your brand, in a way that comes across, in a way that you feel is authentic and works for you. But most importantly, it has to be present. Let's look at a couple more websites for inspiration and then look at one more advanced tactic just as a bonus. Have a look at the simple way that Forbidden Vancouver highlights their awards with a Check Out Our Awards section. Down below, as featured on The Province, BBC, Vancouver Sun, CBC, and Daily Hive. Super effective, super simple. Have a look how Devour Food Tours has a bar at the top of their website that says top rated food tours, 150,000 plus happy guests since 2012. Great job. Notice how on Vancouver Water Adventures, we created these images highlighting not only their average review score and number of reviews, but the fact that this was across these three platforms. We also created some simple icons to highlight they've had 300,000 guests since 2009, 2,000 plus 5-star reviews, award-winning tours, and customer service. We highlighted the awards they won and even had a recommended by slider with some of their media mentions. Now this section is actually the same across all of their tour pages. Notice how Sourced Adventures in New York City uses a plugin in that bottom left corner. It's hard to see, but it says 331 people booked in the last 30 days. These little pop-up icons we see across e-commerce websites. This one says, Jamie from Norfolk, Virginia recently booked a trip verified by proof. This is a more advanced way of showing social proof where you actually link directly into your booking software. Now, this doesn't mean you have to go out and buy a social media plugin. In this video, we've given you some very simple best practices and hopefully given you some inspiration on the way that tour businesses can implement social proof and testimonials on their page. And hey, if you'd like some help implementing those advanced tactics to continue to increase your conversion rate and drive more sales, I know a team of tour business coaches that would love to work with you. One last note that's pretty important. Your general business brand and profile online really does matter here. We're talking about the fundamentals that are actually credibility indicators and can work against you if not done well. Here we're just talking about, does your website load pretty quickly? Does it look like it's been designed or had a design update, since the early 2000s? Is it mobile responsive? Some people, after looking at your tour description page, may go and check you out and see, is this a legitimate business? Do they have a Facebook page? Is there any recent activity? Can I find them on TripAdvisor? Are there management responses to reviews? Hopefully you see what I mean, that all of those tiny indicators are important credibility boosters. And it's why we recommend in our program that you take the time to claim all of your business profiles across the web. And of course, it's so important. They've got a website that functions and have a booking software plugin that gives people confidence that you are a competent, capable person. To wrap things up, if you would like a copy of our workbook that is all about helping you implement these great recommendations, head over to guestfocus.com/tour descriptions. We'll hook you up free of charge. If you enjoyed this video, please consider sending it over to someone else. It would really make my day. If you're watching this here on YouTube, leave a comment down below. Maybe share a link to your own page. Comment, subscribe, like, notifications bell. All of these are indicators to the overlords at YouTube that, hey, this is a channel that maybe we should showcase to other people. So that small gesture would mean a lot to us. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next video.